we need to solve by completing the square. So I'm going to show you exactly step by step how to do this. So we're going to have 8x squared minus x equals 1. Then we are going to divide by the lead coefficient, which is 8. So we'll have x squared minus 1 over 8x plus the blank area will equal to 1 over 8 plus. So now I'm going to make my box to see what I need to fill in. So I'm going to say x squared, so the side lengths are x and x. Half of negative 1/8 is negative 1 over 16 x, and negative 1 over 16 x. So the side lengths will be minus 1 over 16 minus 1 over 16. So in the last box, I'm going to fill in 1 over 256. 1 over 256. 1 over 256. We are going to write the left-hand side now as a binomial. So it's going to be x minus 1 over 16 squared. And on the right-hand side, the common denominator is 256. So it's going to be 32 over 256 plus 1 over 256. So now I'm going to take the square root of both sides and have x minus 1 over 16 equals plus or minus the square root of 33 over 16. And lastly, we are going to add 1/16. So x will equal to 1/16 plus or minus the square root of 33 over 16. And on the second example, I will follow the same steps. So first we are going to say 9x squared plus 9x equals 10. Then we divide by 9, so x squared plus x will equal to 10 over 9. So now we need to figure out what we add to both sides. So we are going to make our box and x squared, so the side lengths are x and x, and a half x, so the side lengths are a half and a half. And what goes in the last box is 1/4. So I'm going to say x squared plus x plus 1/4 equals 10/9 plus 1/4. As a binomial, x plus 1/2 to the second, and that will equal to. So we are going to find the common denominator, which is 36. So let me move this back. So this will give me 36 and 40 over 36, and here I will have 9 over 36. So if I take the square root of both sides and combine the right hand side, I will get x plus 1/2 equals plus or minus 7 over 6. So I need to subtract 1/2 or 3/6 from both sides. So x will equal to negative 3/6 plus or minus 7/6. So in this case, since I can combine those, I will have two solutions. I can write out the two solutions, which will be x equals negative 3/6 plus 7/6 is 4/6, which is 2/3. And for the second part, I will have negative 3/6 minus 7/6, which is negative 10/6, or negative 5/3. We'll do a few review problems again. On question number 67, which is out of the book, it's the square root of m minus the square root of n times the square root of m plus the square root of n. So this is multiplying conjugates. So if we multiply conjugates, we are going to get simply m minus n as an answer. The square root of m squared is m, and minus the square root of n squared is n. For the next problem, we are going to follow a similar pattern. So I will have, first, I am going to actually have to make a box, because this one here is not the differences of squares. So we'll have the square root of 7 and the square root of 2 and the square root of 7 minus the square root of 3. So we have the square root of 49, or just simply 7. Then we have square root 14. Then we'll have negative square root of 21. Let me go ahead and erase that and go back again. Square root of 21. And in the last box, we'll have negative square root of 6. So the answer will be 7 plus square root of 14 minus root 21 and minus root 6. We can't simplify this any further. On number 69, we need to graph the complex numbers. So I'm going to label them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the first one is 2 plus 5i. So 2 plus 5i is right here. My second one is 3 minus 4i. So 3 minus 4i is going to be down here. That's 2. Then the next one is negative 1 plus 5i, negative 1 and 5i. That's number 3. Number 4 is negative 3 minus 2i. Number 5 is negative 5 plus 1, which is negative 4, right on the x-axis. So this is my fifth point. And my last point is 1 plus 2i. So that's going to be right here. So on this last slide, we are going to practice finding the absolute value of the complex number. And the first one is the absolute value of 12 plus 5i. So it's going to be the square root of 12 squared plus 5 squared. So that's going to give us the square root of 144 plus 25, which is the square root of 169, that is 13. The next one, we are going to say the square root of 0, because my real part is 0, 0 squared plus 4 squared. So that's the square root of 16, which is 4. And the last one will be the square root of 4 squared plus negative 3 squared is the square root of 16 plus 9, or the square root of 25, which will simply give me 5. So this was the last part of today's lesson. Now you need to go to your pacing guide to get started on your homework.